I guess we can start. Okay, so thank you all for joining for today. And coming back to today's session, today we'll be looking more into how to interview your role model and what kind of question do you prepare and how do you be even more prepared before you start writing article because all of you guys will need to do your article for round two submission and of course you need to interview the person in order to know what exactly you can write, right? So we have two amazing people for today who will be sharing with you guys about these things. You have a lot more experience in posting or MC or even interviewing people. So we have Natalia here. Natalia is just 13 years old. She is an attendance apprentice from design team and she also writes books. So she's an aspiring author. She writes a book and she releases it on social media where she releases mini snippets about a book and people like me are waiting so badly for his book to be released. So yeah. And together with Natalia, we also have Munif. Munif is just 17 years old and he's the Senate apprentice from the video and content team. He has also hosted several events previously and he has like really good interviewing skills. Both of them are really good at interviewing people and making the conversation going because a lot of times when you make conversation with people, you will feel like, oh, I don't know what else to ask, right? Like, do you guys feel that often? Because I feel that a lot of times. I don't know how to continue the conversation. But these two people here, they're really good at continuing and having the conversation going. So, without further ado, they have fun things planned for you guys. So, we'll pass the stage to Natalia and Munu.
Alright, so wait, where am I lagging? Wait. So hello
You're
everyone.
fine.
So before we jump into like the the main session of this workshop, so I would like to introduce you guys. I mean, what am I saying? Okay, basically, I just want to tell you guys that hi everyone. I would say congratulations again to all of you who made it to round two and be able to write an article and be able to hopefully win for this year's GYC. Um, so, hi guys, I'm Munif Akhil bin Muhammad Shaidin and I'm from SMK Agama Tun Ahmad Zaidi from Sarawak. And I'm also been an ascendant apprentice. So, hopefully, with what I shared to you guys, will be able to help you guys on writing your article and hopefully will make it simply easier for you.
All right. So hi everyone, my name is Talia. I think I cannot introduce myself any better than Abi did. So yeah, once again I'm Natalia. So before we jump into the main session of this workshop, I thought that we could play maybe a small icebreaker, to get everyone's that gets everyone's tubes brain tubes warmed up. Okay, so since you all are working on an article which is all about writing, I thought, why not we play a word game? Okay, so let me share my screen. There. Can everyone see it? Can you put a thumbs up in the chat if you can see it?
Well, I can.
All right.
Hopefully, others can.
All right. Thank you. Okay. So,
Yeah.
how this game works basically is you can see all these like blank columns on the screen. So what we will do is we are going to work together to create this story. But the thing is, we have no idea what the story is going to be about, except the title is called Sick Note. So basically, it's like surat demam, like surat sakit, like when you need to go on leave from school. So, but I have no idea how the letter looks like what is going to be the words. That's the funny bit of it, because we're just gonna put in random words and see how it turns out. Okay, so you guys are going to help me fill it in. So one by one, we're going to go through all these columns, and then you guys can just shout out whatever you want and or say in the chat, then I will put it down. And the best part is try and be as dramatic and extreme as you can. Like, you don't care if it's like a super silly word or like doesn't care or disgusting or whatever. No, you can take it. It will be the best. All right, so let's start. Okay, number one, silly word. All right, does anyone have a silly word in mind? There can be like literally a nonsense word. Okay, like anything that comes to mind. You can put it in the chat. Who wants to volunteer for this? Anyone wants to say a silly word? Can literally be any silly word. Okay.
It can be anything, guys. I know all of you guys are here are very creative.
Yeah.
Please do share us your creativity with us here.
Yeah. Alright, for example, I'm gonna give an example. Okay, no one must copy my word, okay? For example, let's say I'm gonna bring in a chat. Yeah. For example, this Bula Gaga. Yeah, it's literally a nonsense word. First thing that comes to mind, literally anything. Like, can seriously be just like a 2-syllable word? Anything. So, who wants to go? Anyone would like to give a silly word? Salad-ophobia.
We have Baum Puzzle by
Bum
Olaf.
puzzle. Hey, that's nice. That's really good. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that, guys. Bum puzzle. All right, nice. We got our first silly word. Nice. All right. Now, last name. Okay, don't have to be your own last name. Okay, okay. Like any last name, like from a book, TV show, movie, any last name. Like can be like a super common name, like I don't know, Brown or something. Anyone wants to give a last name? White. Smicker. Okay. Jordan. Alright. Which one do you think we should go? White, Smicker, or Jordan?
This is hard, but I like Smeaker. It sounds, I don't know, cool.
Okay. Let's go with Smicker. Alright. Now, an illness. Okay? An illness, yes. Literally anything. doesn't have to be cough, okay? Can literally be any illness you want. For example, uncontrollable vomiting. Like you keep like muntah everywhere. Yeah, that counts as an illness as well. So literally anything.
So it doesn't need to be specific, right?
No, can be
Anything.
literally anything. As long as it's like a bad thing. Anyone wants to go? Ali. Mononucleosis. Wow, what is that?
This is science student. I don't know. Even even if I'm a science student, I don't understand what it is.
Okay, let's just go with that. Because I have no idea what is that, but it sounds bad. So let's go with that. Alright. Noun, plural. Okay. Anyone who knows English will know that a noun is a person, place, and object. So basically anything around you. And then plural means more than one. So you just have to add an S at the end or something. Alright, so anyone want to give a noun? Can be anything at all. Like the closest thing in front of you also can. Anyone want to go? Hats.
Hats.
Alright, let's go with that. That's good. Hats. Alright. Now, adjective. Adjective is the describing, for example, like beautiful or ugly, you know, describing the noun, describing the object. Yes, I'm also very curious to see the end result. So let's have a look soon. Can't wait. Alright. We're gonna need two sarcastic. Sarcastic, yeah, good one. Good adjective. Okay. Sarcastic. Anyone? Another one more?
Dazzling.
Wow, your I have to applaud you for that. Your vocab is super good, guys.
I can use that for my tomorrow exam. Thank you.
Alright, silly word. Another silly word, guys. Anything at all?
Don't worry, guys. If you guys are too lazy to even type it out, just unmute and say it.
Ulala, Shafi. I cannot. Okay, we'll take that one. Ulala. Ulala sashimi. Okay. We'll go with that. Place. And it doesn't have to be like a venue, like for example KLCC don't have to be that. It can be anything. For example, the toilet. The toilet is a place, so that counts as well. Yeah, anything. Kitchen. Alright. Let's go with that. First come, first serve, yeah. So you guys have to be quick. Okay. Alright, number. Give me some crazy number. 8, 7. Alright, let's go. 8.
Why don't we mix it in? 87.
Yeah, that's actually good. 87. 87, 9.
Oh, 9.
Let's put 9
Okay.
as well. Alright. Adjective, one more adjective. Describing the noun. Anyone has another adjective for us? So we can finally see the end result. Anyone? I think everyone is thinking.
Yeah, everyone is trying to.
Thought. Hey, okay, that's good. That's good. Creative. We'll go with that. Because we are being creative right now, so I think that's.
Yeah, we can take that.
Alright. Okay, let's go everything again. Okay, so we have bunk puzzle, we have smicker, we have mononucleosis, we have hats, we have sarcastic, we have dazzling, we have ulala sashimi, we have kitchen, we have 879, and we finally have creative. Alright, so let us see what is our end result of all our craziness. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm gonna use my best reading voice. Dear school nurse, Bang Fazal Speaker will not be attending school today. He or she has come down with a case of mononucleosis and has horrible headaches and a sarcastic fever. We have made an appointment with the dazzling Dr. Ulala Sashimi, who have studied many years in the kitchen and has 879 degrees in pediatrics. He will send you all the information that you need. Thank you. Sincerely, Mrs. Creative. See? Well done, everyone. We did it. Yeah, I personally think this is like one of the best. If only our school essays were like this, okay? If only our school essays were
If they're only allowed like this, it will be very funny.
Alright. Well done, everyone. So, thank you so much for playing this game with us. Yes, studies in the kitchen. So, without further ado, let us get to the main session of this workshop. So I will pass it over to my co-host Munif. So go ahead.
Alright, so hello everyone. Again, boring, right? Yeah. So actually, hopefully you guys are warm up and are ready to the main quest or to the main session of tonight workshop. So before I go, can Natalia put up the screen before I actually help you guys deep down? Okay, here it is. So, I understand that each and every one of you who came here are the people who want to know more or what they should do in order to interview their role model, right? So the first tips that I can give to you guys is that set an end goal for your interview while you are interviewing that person. So for example, right, if you want to in this case you are interviewing your role model, so your end goal might look like something maybe like this. My end goal for this interview with my role model is to gain an invaluable insight, guidance, and inspiration from their experiences and expertise. And your goal is to ask a thoughtful question that not only help you understand better about that person journey, but also foster a meaningful connection you with them. So like it's more like you are be able to understand that person so deep that you are be able to understand how hard it is this journey, how hard it is when facing through these problems and etc. So and when you have this end goal, your end goal statement outlines the objective for the interview with role model. Like you want to get an insight, right? You want to learn from your role model experiences and knowledge. So, and you want to have a deeper understanding. So, for example, and stuff like that. So, all of those are important because you need to know which path of questions that you want to have to include into your article. So, but for example, right, if you ask your role model asking them about what did you do in order to become this good? What did you sacrifice in order to have this and that? And then when they answer, and most likely you will find something that is very valuable for you, and you think that is something that you cannot get from other people, or other people like them, you can include it in your article, and most likely that will help you in your article because um well, experience is very valuable, and usually the answer that they give to you, it will be unique, something that not most people are facing through. So when the judges are reading your article, they may be like, oh wow, this is very painful, for example, or this is very something that is very mind-boggling to them. So hopefully it will help. So setting an end goal for your interview is very important because again, it puts up a path for you where you want to go, or what type of question you want to ask, and what do you want to put in your article, and what do you want from this person in order to help you in your article writing. So now let's go to the tip
All
number
right.
2, right? Okay.
Sorry, Miss. Let me just add something a little bit there.
Yeah,
Hope you don't
sure,
mind.
sure.
Okay. So for those still a little bit confused of it's basically like what Monim said, it's just the objective, like your main focus of what you want in the interview. For example, let me give you an example. So the main frame for an angle is that you have to be confident, you have to be sure of yourself. Like don't put any hopefully or maybe like that one, because that one, that means is you're not confident anymore of your goal. The goal is meant for you need to work towards it, therefore you need to be more confident of it. So like for example, like I will have fun during my interview, and that I will have learned something from my role model that I just interviewed. That's an angle because you are more confident of it and you have created something for you to work towards. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I'll give you another example. Before I had my exam, so my end goal for my exams was I wanted to get 5 A's and 1B. Back then we only had like 6 subjects. 5 A's, 1B. So when I created the angle, then I had something to work towards. That means I I had it means I was focused on this thing, and then yeah, just for your information, yes, I did manage to achieve my end goal. I got 5 A's and 1B. So yes, that when you set an end goal, then it's actually quite powerful because then you are able to focus and make it become a reality. So yeah, that's just for those who are confused about end goal is. You can continue with.
Alright, thank you for that. So I would like to add something, just like how Natalia said, right? So because you just like how you seen her like her living proof that she wants to M5A1B. So in the end she got 5A1B. So in this sense, right, you can see that by having an interview, by having an end goal actually helps you to set down a path that you really want to go. So hopefully in this sense it will help you guys in writing your article. Right. So moving on to the tip number 2 is that wait. Right. So we want to do a research first on the person and construct a question based on your research. So what do I mean by this is that, right, when you want to go, before you like actually want to go and interview a person, right, you must want to know about that person so that you know what type of question that you will be able to ask them. Like, for example, you have like a chess player or a debater or a sports person in your school, right? And that is your role model. Of course, you want to learn or do a research first on them. For example, you want to know, oh, what do they do? If this is a chess person, what is his or her achievement? If he's a rugby player, then what is his position in rugby? How many years does he play? How many years did he spend playing rugby? Or how many hours does he or she spend training for rugby tournament in 1 week? So all of that you need. So before you need to go to have that question, you need to do a research first on that person. You need to know, or what do they do, what what types of sports, or what are the thing that you want to how to say um about how that particular person is. You need to know what is that person. Is he kind, or is he like very very strict or disciplined? You need to do all of that so that you can construct a question based on your research. So that for this, I'll give you an example. If you know, you had a research first. You need to know, okay, this person is a chess player. Okay, he's a chess player. He became an under 12 champion in Majlis Sukan Sekolah Malaysia. He trained for 7 hour at least. That's what you hear from people, right? And then you can construct a question. Okay, when you ask him or her, you can ask, okay, let's say the name is Jordan, right? Okay, Jordan, how do you, then you can ask something like, hey Jordan, what do you do, or what did you do in order to become a a champion in chess? Or you can ask, hey Jordan, how many times did you train for chess in 1 week? So only then you can construct a question. Only then you can construct a question. Sorry about that. Right. So hopefully that clear up. If you guys are still blur, you can ask in the questions in the box in the chat box. I will kindly help you guys with that. Right. Since there's no question, so we can move to the last tip from me, which is you need to create a list of well thought out question in advance. So this goes back to with the tip two, right? Because you have the question, because you have the person that you research on, then you want to have those questions, right? So you need to create a list of well thought out questions. So creating a list of well thought out question in advance, it really requires a careful planning and a consideration of your goals and the context in which you will be using these questions. So in this case, you are interviewing your role model. You are in this situation, you are asking questions that are essential. And what can I see is that the step by step, or my guide in helping you to create a meaningful list of questions is that, again, you want to clarify your purpose. You need to understand the purpose of your question. What do you hope to achieve by asking these questions? Again, back into tip one, gain an insights. And then secondly, you need to know your you do the research based on the topic. So before generating the questions, brainstorming all the question, you need to conduct a thorough research on that topic, on that person. What does he do? So like, for example, I give to you is that was chess, right? So you need to do a conduct thorough research about chess so that you can know more, so that you can have a wide perspective of questions that are related to that person. Okay, this might sounds a bit hard to understand. So it is like this. If you want to ask someone, right? Um, let's say let's say, okay, chess is not really that big. Maybe we can say sports, right? Okay, running the 100 meter, right? We all have that one guy in our school who is talented in running. So before you go and ask him, hey, you go and run, right? What did you do? This and that. So those are like usually the general questions. So before, if you want to have a very essential question, a question that is very valuable, you need to do a research first. Okay, so running, they have starting block, they have starting phase, they have dry phase, they have the final phase. So you need, in order for, so that when you ask that particular person or that sports person, you can ask them, hey, what did you train for having a good dry phase? Okay, a dry phase is basically when you start off the run and then you get up to get to your top speed. So those are the things that you need to know. So it goes vice versa to what is that what is your role model are doing. So for example, if they do chess, then you need to learn about chess. If they are good at badminton, then you need to do a research about badminton, so that you can ask a question um that is intriguing to that person, so that they feel like, oh wow, this is a very usually when they have a question that is very um a question for them that is very intriguing, usually they would respond in a way that would be fun and in a way that would be very meaningful. Right. So once you have your topic, you know what you are going to talk about, then you need to brainstorm an initial question. You need to, okay, so usually I would use 5W1 hash. You will ask, okay, what in these terms of this topic, what particular questions that I would use usually would like something like, let's say for running, so I would ask, hmm, what what will you do in order to be what would you do, what would you sacrifice in order to become this faster, blah blah blah, blah. So add some uh lots of, you need to add lots of these questions, and then you can narrow down, just cut off all of that questions that you don't want. um for example, you have like a boring question, then you can just cut it out. And usually when you have like at least 10 question, then you can then that will be usually good to ask for that role model. So i think um I think that's all for me, because I don't think I want to add more, because before it will be too much. But just maintain three of this, it will usually help you a lot. So before we move on to the next step, we'll pass this to Natalia to furthermore give you guys about tips on asking your role model. Sure, sure.
All right. So thank you, Oni, for all those tips. So guys, I hope you got that. Okay. So tip number 4. All right. So when, like Munif said just now, it's best to do some research before you interview your role model. So, but how do you do that research exactly? So, when you're doing a research, it's best to talk to the people who knew your role model best. For example, if like you want to interview a school prefect, then it's best to ask her friends, like seniors, like those, cause they are the ones who are close to her, and they will be the ones who know her best. So you can ask them about like her personality and character, just to get to know her better, so that you're more prepared when you actually interview that person. Or if like you're interviewing a principal, then you can ask the different teachers, who work with her or him closely, like the penolong pentadbiran or the head of curriculum, because like they will be the ones who will work closer with her, so then you'll be able to get more info from the teachers about the role model. And then, so yeah, that's it, number 4. Next, when you ask questions, then it's up to you really, but I suggest that you could also try to include some of your personal experiences and like mention it in your interview, because this actually helps to reduce the tension, because sometimes it's awkward silence when you're like interviewing someone, and then you're trying to ask the questions, and then maybe they're thinking, so then it's like an awkward silence. I know because I've done it before as well, so I understand that if you feel like that tension sometimes. That's why it's always best to try and break the ice first, so you talk about your own experiences, because when you're opening up, then the role model that you're interviewing will also feel more comfortable to open up, because like they're thinking like, oh, this person, she's brave enough, like he or she is brave enough to open up and talk first, so that therefore, okay, I can feel it's safer to maybe more confident to like talk about all my different experiences, the good and the bad. That is why yeah, you should include some of your own personal experiences when you ask the questions. And finally, the most important one, when you interview someone, you need to be confident, because this actually impacts a lot, because the way you behave or talk, your body language, it can actually impact the role model you are interviewing, because they will see whether you actually have prepared well, whether you have practiced, especially if you're interviewing a teacher, because they are grown up, so they will be able to read your body language better than school prefects or like any other of your like children. So that's why it's important, to practice asking the questions as much as you can. Like if you're interviewing as a group, then you can do it with your friends. If you're just like a solo interview, then you can like practice in front of the mirror. So you can observe yourself. You can observe your own expressions and like how you are asking the questions. And even if you're just doing alone, I think it's always best to try and practice with an audience as well. Like get your parents or your friends, ask them like to watch you as you present, because then it helps you with your confidence, and it also helps you with your word building skills. And yeah, that's as much tips as I can give you. I think one final one I think I will say is that you should always have a script. Yes, do not ever go into an interview empty-handed and read the word questions from your mind. That does not help at all. Believe me, I have tried. So make a script first, like do it on Google Docs or even on pencil paper. You can write down your script, write down all your points, and then do tip number 6, practice your questions as you are reading it out. Yeah. So that's all the tips that we can give you. We hope it really helped. So yeah, that's all from us. Thank you everyone for listening to our workshop. We hope you enjoyed the game and got some interesting tips for your article and interview. So good luck everyone with your interview. We wish you all the best, and yeah, just do your best. Back to you, Ami.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. Last but not least, we have like what 15 more minutes to go. Do you guys have any other question you want to ask to either Munib or Natalia? Do feel free to put it in the chat. There's a few people joining in the call, but we just finished the whole session. Don't worry, we'll probably send you guys the YouTube link for this particular session as the recorded of it. But feel free to ask any questions you guys have about your article. If you're stuck in between, do let us know as well. Hi, Prahladan. You unmuted. Do you have any questions? No. Just got back home, huh? No worries. Do you guys have any other questions? If no, then we can just end it with like a group picture. Okay, cool. Then if you guys have any other questions, you have our support team number in the group. You can contact the admin of the Telegram group and reach out to us as well. Sorry, what? But how do we write? Good question. Sorry, the question is coming to me in direct message, so I'll answer. How do we write the question? Please do put it in the normal chat so Natalia and Munir can see. But how do we write it is basically you can write it in either Microsoft Word, Google Docs, or Canva, or any other digital software that you use. Please don't write it manually and then take a picture. No, no, don't do that. Uh, Send it to us virtually, like a digital form of it. Like you can download as PDF and then pass us the PDF link for that. Okay. Any other questions? So today's session focuses more into like how do you interview your role model, but this is just like the first step of you getting into the whole article writing for your round two submission. We also have another session coming up on guide to writing your article. So stay tuned for that. We will be sending the link again in the group. So yeah, feel free to join that particular session as well. I'm gonna see one comment in the chat. No questions. Yay! Okay. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And once again, thank you so much, Monique and Natalia, for doing such a wonderful session. I liked it a lot. I'm not sure about the audience. I hope you guys learned something new out of this or it helped you in your article writing, but I enjoyed the session a lot, even though I can't write any article for this round two of the GYC submission. But all the best for all of you guys. Um, if you're done with the whole, with your whole, how to say, your whole article, you can submit your articles here. Let me quickly put up the link also in the chat box, so all of you guys can go also check it out. But if you have no question, is that okay if we take a group picture together? Give me a second. Please do turn on your camera so you all can take a group picture together.